Don, hey, what's up, boys? How you doing? Was that in cash, Don? Like, did you cash? Good deal, buddy. I'm glad to hear it. Give everybody a couple of minutes to get in here. Welcome in, everybody. I hope you're all doing fantastic. Make sure you guys go and like the post like Cinepop just done and retweeted. It helps tremendously. And also, if you are on Reddit, I just posted in the DFS Sports subreddit. A upvote in there would be awesome. Would love that. Give everybody a couple minutes to get in here before we start. I'm gonna go and retweet the post myself while we're waiting. It does help tremendously, guys. Every new set of eyes we have on us is just helping us grow, boys. I need to download my CSV while we're waiting. Let's see how many lineups I'm playing today. It looks like 321, so nothing crazy, right? Playing the $100 single entry today. 100 George Washingtons to enter it. Make sure you're sharing the stream with your friends. We are about to get started. Let them know we are live, gentlemen. Message them on Discord, text them, whatever it takes. Get them in here. We don't want them to miss out on the plays. You know, I guess it runs in the family. Gotta tell this little story, then we're gonna start. My brother downloaded Underdog on Christmas Day. Never played it before in his life. Won second place in a contest on an Underdog draft. Won $4,000. And if John Mechie would have had one more catch, he would have took down for 20 G's. But talk about a Christmas Day miracle, boys. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Maxey's probably going to be core, and I love George too. I do not think Embiid plays. I think he's soft as baby shit, but that's just me. But we got 11 viewers now. Let's hop into it position by position. If you guys have any questions about any players, let me know. Let's get into it. I'm sorted by projected value, where Spencer Dinwiddie. What's up, Chubbs? Welcome in, buddy. Where Spencer Dinwiddie is grading out the best for me. I mean, he looks great. This team is just dying with injuries and suspensions. There's going to be no Najee Marshall. There's going to be no PJ Washington. There's going to be no Luka Doncic. How many bodies do they have? Let me check. I mean, he's truly the only backup true point guard, but they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got 5 bodies that I would say are viable, and then they have 4 bitch guys that might not make some G League teams. Like Maxi Kleba, he's grading out pretty decently for me, but if you look at his stats, he's a .56 fantasy point per minute player. He done well yesterday in 26 minutes, but I'm not feeling good about playing a Maxi Kleba. I don't think you can go wrong with any of the starting 5 Mavericks today. But, I mean, Dinwiddie's great. So many of them's grading out well, the starting 5. Kyrie, Gafford, and Dinwiddie would be my 3 favorite, though. Love all 3 of them. I'm happy if I get them in my lineup. What's up, Conflict? Welcome in, buddy. Hope you're doing well. And Jose is in here. Jose is my best friend. Thank you for stopping by, buddy. Tyrese Maxey. We got to talk about him, right? Because Utah is terrible. Terrible against guards. I want to point something out, though. Teams that are bad against guards. Looking at Spencer Dinwiddie and Kyrie Irving, the Blazers rank dead last in the NBA, where Utah ranks 29th. Both of them terrible. They cannot defend the point for nothing. They just can't. Yeah, Don, that's why I reserve my contest usually around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But I love Maxey today. Probably going to be a core piece for me. Like I said, I expect Embiid to set. And if Embiid doesn't set, I can leave enough salary to pivot to Kyrie if I want to. If that's the way I want to build for my single entries. So, but love him. Going to have a ton of him. Speaking of Kyrie, he's one of my favorite plays as well. He might make the core as well because the other pieces I got are relatively cheap. But I'm going to have a ton of Kyrie today and hope his shot's falling. Now, against Phoenix, he played 40 minutes. But his shot really wasn't falling. Shot 6 for 21. That's what hurt his production at the end of the night. But just the previous game against Minnesota, who I think is a better defensive team, his shot was falling. He shot 14 for 27, made value with 49 fantasy points. That's the kind of night I'm hoping he has. And even though I think these teams are vastly different, I think Dallas is much better team. With the injuries and the suspensions Dallas has, I think Portland can keep this game close. So I think Kyrie is in for a lot more minutes tonight, just like last night. Jalen Brunson looks phenomenal if he is going to play as a game time decision, but we should get that news before lock. We should. And if he is going to play, then I love him. I'm going to have a lot of him. 8,300 is just far too cheap for him today. It really is. And if he's out, Miles McBride becomes pretty much the best value on the slate. Other than some centers we're going to talk about. But if he's in, love him. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm paying up at point today. Most of my point guard spots are going to be taken by Maxey, Irving, Brunson, and Dinwiddie. That's how it's going to be for me today. Dame time, he's looking really good for me. I am a little scared. He's coming off injury. You guys just know how I am. I don't like playing guys off injury. But I'm not worried about how much I'm going to get him. If I get him in my MMEs, I'm fine with it, but I'm not playing him in my single entries just because he's coming off 4 games he's missed. He hasn't played since December 17th, 11 days, and it was an illness. Did it affect his respiratory system? Is he going to get full run tonight? I don't know. I haven't read anything about it. So I'm a little cautious with him. Going to be playing him in my MME, my GPPs, but not my single entries. I think Colin Sexton's going overlooked today. I had to manually bump his projection. I really like Sexton. You want to get different piece today? I think it's Sexton. He's only pulling 5% ownership. Last 4 games, the dude has just been cruising. 47, 37, 35, and 36 fantasy points. I'll take any of that at this price. Very happy. Cade's fine. I don't mind running Cade today. Denver is not great against the point guard position. He's a baller. Don't mind him at all. But I just prefer those guys up top more. Jamal Murray's fine. Don't mind him. But really, everyone under Murray's just an MME play for me. Now, like I said, Miles McBride, if we get news that Brunson's out, probably going to be a core piece for me. Malcolm Brogdon, if we get news that Jordan Poole is out, he might be a core piece for me. So, a lot of guys to look at today. Just waiting on injury news. The important ones to me, we're going to get before lock with the Knicks and Washington game. The other 2 are Embiid, who I expect to sit, and Anthony Davis. I think Davis might sit. So I love LeBron today. But I did read an article that said he's expecting to play. Like he said that he wants to play. He's expecting to play. So that I kind of had to pull the reins back there a little on LeBron when I read that. Moving over to the 2 guard, and surprise, surprise, it is Mavericks at the top. Clay looks good, Quentin Grimes looks good, and Kyrie looks good. I fully expect to have three Mavericks in my lineup, and I'm okay with that. MME is mass multi-entry, Adam. It's usually like the quarter contest and the nickel contest on FanDuel, where you can enter 150 lineups. I build much differently in those lineups than I do like a single entry, where I want to be a bit safer. I take more risk when I have 150 lineups to work with, you know? What's up, Elite? Welcome in, buddy. Hope you're doing well. And besides the 3 Mavericks at the top, which ranking them for me today, I love all 5 starters, but it's going to be Kyrie, Gafford, Dinwiddie, Clay, Grimes, in that order. But they're all terrific in my opinion. I'm setting a limit of 3 in my lineups today, just because we got a 7-game slate. I don't want to have 4 guys from one team on my lineup, but I expect all these starters to play huge run. Outside of those guys, Paul George and Kelly Oubre are looking fantastic. So do I, Elite. Tyrese Maxey's my favorite, but you get outside of Maxey and Paul George is just far too cheap for his upside with no Embiid on the court. Sign me up for PG all day today. And Kelly Oubre, when Embiid's off the court, Oubre has played fantastically. Looking at his numbers before the show started, the difference is astronomical when Embiid's on the court and he's not. Kelly takes so many more shots. He's more involved. I don't know if you guys can see it here, but like these games, there was no Embiid. And then Embiid comes back against Cleveland, San Antonio, and Kelly has 20 and 19 fantasy points. Really like Kelly today. If you don't want to play Paul George, you can't get to Tyrese Maxey, I would suggest getting some Kelly Oubre in your lineup. You're going to want at least one of these 76ers today, I feel like. And I know I'm in the middle of going over players, but I wanted to give a big shout out to Flexia and Jose. They used the DK core last night and absolutely ate. Flexia, he got, I think, 4th place. I could be wrong in that. He posted it in the chat. 6th place, took home $666. Jose got 31st place, and he had multiple entries in that one. I mean, guys, we are eating left and right here. If you're not in our Discord, I highly recommend you join. It is linked in the chat and down below in the description, and I'm always available in there. If you have any questions about the slate whatsoever, ask me in there. I'm happy to help you guys. All you gotta do is at me, and I'll let you know anything you want to know. Just like I'll let you know what is Dame's ownership and Middleton's ownership. Damian Lillard's pulling 21% ownership right now, which does scare me. Chris Middleton only pulling 14%. I know he's playing well. I'm still not on the Middleton train because he's not getting the minutes. We talked about Sexton. Next up's Middleton. He's playing well, but I just cannot trust a guy that he's only played 26 minutes the most this year. That was last game against Brooklyn. He got 26 minutes. I can't trust a guy playing 26 minutes. I just can't do it. He has the upside. He has the skill to get it done in 25 minutes if that's all he plays. But it scares me. Brad Beal looks fine, don't mind him, but everybody down in this area is just a MME play for me. Honestly, if I'm building for single entry, my 2 guard position, it's going to be a Maverick or it's going to be a 76er. That's it. Unless we get some injury news, which we're waiting on. We got some news here. What do we got? It's all for tomorrow, so that doesn't help us. But it's going to be Klay Thompson. It's going to be Kyrie. It's going to be Grimes, Paul George, Kelly Oubre. That's going to be my single entry shooting guards. Just how it sits right now. Like I said, that might change a little if we get some news. Is he a shooting guard? No, he's not. I really like Champagne today for the Wizards, but he is a small forward, I believe. Yes, he is. There he is. It's going to be Bobby Portis for me, Elite. Bobby Portis, my favorite play. I did 8. I did Dame is 21 and Middleton was 14. Let's move it over to small forward though. A bunch of the guys at the top are the same ones that we talked about, the 2-guard position, but I feel like we got to talk about Josh Hart. Josh Hart is almost a core play for me. I love some Josh Hart today. This game environment suits his playstyle so well. He's all over the court, he grabs steals, he grabs rebounds. It's going to be a fast-paced game against a bad team. I fully expect him to at least be able to get a double-double today, and he's shooting the ball really well. Last 2 games, he's had 40 and 49 fantasy points, played 38 minutes in both, shot 8 for 12 in one of them, and 7 for 11 in the other. Double-digit rebounds in both games, double-digit steals in both games. Just a game that I really think suits his play style, and if Brunson's out, it means I like him more. So Josh Hart, he's going to be the unofficial, you're watching the stream core play. I'm going to have him in so many lineups today. I don't know why I swapped power forward. Love LeBron today. Like I said, I thought Anthony Davis was going to sit until I read the article that he said he's going to try to play. But I think even if AD does play, I still like LeBron. Of course, you like him more if AD's out, but it was an ankle injury. Ankle's something that takes a little time to recover from. I don't like the fact that AD, like as a player, is rushing back from an ankle injury. And I just think this is a great matchup for LeBron as well against 2 California teams. LeBron's been on it the last 3 games. His last 3 games, 57, 56, and 59 fantasy points. Oh, and one of those games was against Sacramento where he scored 57 fantasy points, shot 13 for 24, and had 4 steals in that game. He matches up great against Sacramento. Really, really like him. Moving down, I really like Champagny, but if Jordan Poole sets, I think Champagny becomes automatic, almost a must play. I just love this guy's game. He was core back on December 7th, I think it was, when he scored 44 fantasy points. This guy's got that dog in him. He's a great scorer, but he also does a load of other things. He's had a ton of blocks in his very brief stint that he started since December 5th, I believe. But he's got it in him. 1.06 fantasy point per minute player. If you tell me a player is starting and they're a 1.06 fantasy point per minute player, I'm going to tell you to roster them, no matter who they are. Moving down the line here, I think Mikal Bridges is fine. I would prefer Hart, though. But I know they got a big price difference. Would prefer getting a Hart. KD, we talked about Brad Beal. If you can't get to KD and you want a piece of the Suns team today, I would just say play Brad Beal. But I think both are fine. Josh Okogie's been getting more run lately, and he's a great player when he gets run. So if he's getting the minutes, he's grading out well. It's kind of the same with Royce O'Neal. I mean, he's played 30 minutes in back-to-back games, 29 the game before that, and then 34 the game before that. Don't mind him. But the rest of the pieces below him, just kind of MME only. I will say Kuminga looks great if Steph Curry was to miss this game. If Steph's going to play, then I don't have much interest. Last I looked, he was still questionable, but I haven't checked lately. Let's move it to power forward, where Bobby Portis, I can't get away from him. Revenge game narrative, right? He just played Chicago. On the 23rd, put up 43 fantasy points. He's got Dame back. He's not gonna have to do everything now, and I think that's a benefit to him. He's just an elite baller. He would be a starter on pretty much every other basketball team, but he's too good not to roster. Only, 7,700. I say only, that seems like a daunting price, but I love it. I would play him if he was 8K today. I just really like Dame being back. Dame's able to facilitate this offense, get passes down to Bobby P. Bobby can work on in the post more, get more rebounds, get more blocks. Just love how it's setting up for him. Trace Jackson Davis, I don't know when people are going to learn that this guy's the real deal. He's been core multiple times in the past week for us. Let's see, his last 4 games, he's put up 37, 30, 32, and 33 fantasy points, and he's only 5.2K. sign me up. He's a core piece today. I love Trace Jackson Davis. I fully expect him to start again, even if Draymond Green's back. They can't set this guy. Trace is doing too good. Love some Trace Jackson Davis today. Talked about most of these other guys. Maxi Kleber, I mean, if you need to save some salary and you just want a absolute punt play, throw Maxi in there at 3,700. I think he's your best punt play today. Wiggins grading out great for me. I don't necessarily love him. I think Kuminga's really taken over his role. So, not big on Wiggins today. But he does have upside. Looking through here, everybody else just MME play for me. I mean, if you guys have somebody you want me to talk about, let me know and I'll be happy to. Who do we like in the Denver game? Highest total on the game. I do hope Brunson's out too. In the Denver game, I like Joker best, but I will say, just like yesterday, I told guys in this chat, I love Joker. I'm just not going to get to him because the way I'm building today, because I had so much Zach Edey. And it's the same today. I love Joker today, but I'm not going to get to much of him because I'm going to have Daniel Gafford and Mason Plumlee in most of my center spots today. It's going to be so much Plumlee and Gafford for me today. Love those two guys. But outside of Joker, looking for a value piece, I will say I like Peyton Watson if he starts. We don't know if he's going to start yet. I assume he does, but they have put Strother in there before. But Peyton Watson's fine. And on the other side, I really like Cade. I really like Ivy. Both those guys are fine. Don't mind them. And if you want to get really crazy with it, I think Jalen Duren grades out really well today. But I hate playing Jalen Duren because he always gets in foul trouble. And he's playing the best offensive center in the NBA. So Joker might have him in some foul trouble quick. But moving on to center, Daniel Gafford, I mean, I ain't got to tell you guys. Yesterday started because Lively's injured. He put up 29 fantasy points in 29 minutes. I think this is a much better matchup than what he had against Phoenix, and I think he's going to eat. I really like Gafford today. He's my value center if you don't want to play Mason Plumlee. But I promise you 99.99% of my centers on FanDuel today will be Plumlee and Gafford. That's it. I mean, love both of them today. Plumlee's pulling less ownership at only 17%. Gafford's pulling 37% as it sits right now, but I love them both. We talked about Portis. We talked about Trace. Karl Anthony Towns looks good. Solid matchup for him. Don't mind rostering him on any other slate. He has been playing down lately, though. Jonas is not going to be owned at all. He's 0% owned right now. But I don't mind that as a crazy what-if play 8. But Cat, he's fine. I would just prefer to get to Brunson from this game. We're getting a lot of news. My phone's blowing up. Let's check it out. Jordan Poole is out. So we got Buzelis is going to play. Jalen Smith's out. Giddey's going to play. I did not think he would play. Lonzo's going to play. So Poole being out is going to really shake up these projections. I think that Champagnie and Malcolm Brogdon look amazing now. We're going to give it a minute and let the projections update. We got time. No rush, but really loving those guys now. Kind of like what I said a while ago, I love Joker today. The matchup's elite. He should have Duren in hell. He should live at the free throw line today. Absolute GOAT play if you don't want to play one of these cheap guys in Plumlee and Gafford. Joker's only pulling 9% ownership right now. I personally think it's probably about where he's going to pull. So, really like it. I do like Laurie. He's a MME only play for me. I'm not going to risk it in a single entry, but he's one of my top MME plays today, 8. Yeah, I seen that. Thank you, Potent. Brook Lopez is fine. I'd just much rather get to Portis, but if you want to get off his ownership, Brook Lopez only pulling 4% ownership. Vucevic looks fine. Don't mind him. If I had to pick a favorite Bull today, it would be Vucevic. And you see, I got a lot of these guys that I just don't know if they're going to play, taken out of my player pool. John Collins, I have no idea if he's going to play, but even if he does, I'm not interested, so I don't want to risk it. Same with AD, same with Sabonis, same with Dre. Embiid, I think, sits, so that's where we're at right now. Let the projections update, and then I'll give you my core, because I really think Champagne or Brogdon is going to make the core now. We play Collaby and Champagne at shooting guard together. I think that's perfectly fine tonight. If I had to pick one, it would be Champagne, but I think Collaby is, I mean, he's everything is set up for Collaby tonight to have an amazing game. If he fails, it is on him. But Bilal, he used to be on my radar. I guess he's still been balling. I don't know why he's not on. Oh, it's his price. Which this projection's it's gonna go through the roof here in a minute. I have no interest in Fox. Like, he's grading out good for me, 8. But I have no interest in him just because of all the drama surrounding Sacramento right now with the coaching change. And a lot of people are saying Fox is the reason the coach got the can. And he could absolutely come out on fire and prove everybody this is my team. Or it could be the opposite. I'm not quite sure, so I'm just leaving him as an MME play right now, and I'll have him in MME, but I'm not going to have him in single entry. What does that say? Just another 40-point fantasy paint. Yeah. I mean, I got him projected for 42.8 fantasy points, and it's just not enough today. If you look at his chart here, I know you can't see all the way over to where I can see, but just perfect cash game play. I mean, he hasn't scored below 40 fantasy points since November 29th. But he hasn't scored over 49 fantasy points since December 1st. My phone is still going crazy. None of it news, though. Leave the drama to your mama, he says. I agree. Let's look here. Where are you, Washington? I knew you would be low. I don't think these have reset yet. Yeah, they have definitely not reset yet. But when they do, I'll let you guys know and we'll update the core. I'm gonna go over DraftKings really fast. We're gonna touch on DraftKings. Man, shit, I don't even want to go over DraftKings because that's gonna change so much when these projections update. Now, I really want to give you guys the core, but it may drastically change. Let's see what the updates were. So they took Jordan Poole out. They just haven't updated the projections yet for him. So as soon as that gets updated, we will have the core ready. Just worry about the cores. Guys, if you're not in our Discord, it is in the chat, it is down below in the description. It's completely free to join, and you can access me anytime you have any kind of question. With the NBA, late swap news is so vitally important. And if we have some crazy news and you don't know what to do, you can at me at any time, and I'm happy to help you. Happy to help you guys. That is why I'm there. I want to help you guys take down. That is what I want. Sorry, guys. Come on, projections. Hurry up and update. Thoughts on Kispert tonight on DK? He's probably bone cheap on DK. Let me double check. If he's 3K, then yeah. He's 3,800? Meh. I'd like to see their starting lineup first. And I think that's probably what Line Star's waiting on. Their starting lineup. If he's a starter, then yeah, he's a lock. If he's the 6th man, like I could have him. I'm okay having him, but I'm not super confident. Oh, I'm still on DK. I will say this, guys. Just like yesterday, yesterday's core was a center. and I apologize for that because I hate doing that, but it was two of the better ones. Yesterday's score was Zach Edey or Nick Claxton in your center spot. And today it's going to be the same. It's going to be Daniel Gafford or Mason Plumlee in your center spot. Yeah, make sure you guys like the video, hit the sub button. It helps tremendously. And how is the football games looking? I'm pulling it up here. It looks like 10-3 in Denver right now. But I had Hunter Henry, so my day's finished. I'm cashing right now, but... Hate trusting Gafford. I get where you're coming from, Adrian, but this team really has nobody else, brother. They don't. I mean, if you look... where are they at? Right there. If you look, Max and Kleba, we take a look, 0.56 fantasy point per minute player per game. He's dog trash. And Dwight Powell... He is better, but they're not going to give him minutes, I don't believe. I don't think there's a chance he plays over 15 minutes today. Then if you want to look at Oliver here, he's just not a good player. He's not going to get minutes. I didn't even see that you asked about Cade and Beasley. My fault, buddy. Let me look it up for you. Cade is 22% owned, and Malik Beasley is 4% owned. Who has the better pure matchup? Golden State ranks 14th against the center, and Portland ranks 11th against the center. But I will say this. Portland has more shots blocked than any other team in the NBA. I know Gafford's not really known as a shot blocker per se, like one of the elite ones, but Portland does have more shots blocked than any other team in the NBA. So technically, Plumlee has the better matchup, but I think Gafford, looking deeper, has a better matchup. Can we please get these projections to update? We have anything here? Nope, still nothing. We still got 30 minutes though. 30 minutes, we're fine. De'Aaron Fox is 13% owned. If you're looking for a pay up at point guard that's low owned, I would suggest Steph Curry. He's only pulling 9%. Other than that, everybody's in double digits, brother. I gotta put Giddy into the player pool since he's playing, but I probably still won't get much of him. And if you're looking at the 2-guard position 8, Zach LaVine's pulling no ownership at 4%, but it's probably because he's dog shit. And Kobe White at 7%. And below Colby, it's showing 3%, but it hasn't updated yet. We got 19 viewers in here. I can't say thank you to each and every single one of you. Just please ask me questions if you have them. We're just waiting on the projections to update from the news that Jordan Poole will be out, and then we're giving our core. We got some kind of news. Jalen Brunson's gonna play. Just came across my phone. I'll pull it up on the computer here though, so you know I'm not a liar. There it is, right there. Jalen Brunson listed available to play. So really like some Brunson today. And if you want to get off the chalk, Kyrie Irving, Damian Lillard, Cade Cunningham, and Spencer Dinwiddie, all projected to be north of 20% ownership according to LineStar. Get on some Jalen Brunson. Only showing 11% ownership right now. I love some Brunson today. Fantastic matchup. We got some more news. What did we get here? I just seen my phone ding. Did we? I guess not. Well, it's on my phone, but it's not on here. Literally nothing I care about. Moses Moody is out. Okay, so LineStar has updated the starting lineup. They think that Brogdon, Carrington, Colby, and Champagnie, and Sarr is going to be starting. I think every one of those guys are great. If I had to pick one, it's going to be Champagnie. Followed by Brogdon and Colby. Those three. No, I'm off the Svi train 8. He's only projected for 11.26 for me. The team's just getting too healthy. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I'm sick. 20 viewers. Let's go. Thank you to each and every one of you. Okay, the projections are starting to update. We can give our core now. Let's take a look at these updates. Champagne looking fantastic. I figured he would. Bub Carrington, I'm going to give him a little boost there. I hate playing this guy, but he is starting. Brogdon, I got to give a boost there too. Brogdon looks great. Colaby looking great. Keyshawn George, Alright, let's go over core now. First core piece for me is going to be Tyrese Maxey. I fully anticipate Embiid is going to be setting, and I love Maxey. Jalen Brunson looks fantastic. Almost made core. I know you cannot play for a blowout, but he does make me a little nervous. 12.5 point spread. They don't have their best basketball player. You know, do I like Clay or Grimes more? I like Clay more, but Clay is pulling a lot more ownership at 37%. Quentin Grimes only pulling 18% ownership. My next core piece is going to be Justin Champagne, small forward for Washington. And then we're going to have two at power forward today. It's going to be Trace Jackson Davis and Bobby Portis. If you want to, you can substitute Josh Hart for Bobby Portis, because I love some Josh Hart today. I told you he's the bonus if you're watching the YouTube stream core piece. And the last core piece is going to be split as well. It's going to be Daniel Gafford or Mason Plumlee, whichever one you prefer. Let's run it with Gafford first and see what we get, and then we'll swap over and run it with Plumlee. Oops. And while that is running, I'm going to post the core in the Discord. So give me just a moment, guys. It is the 28th. And, you know, even if for some reason Embiid plays today, I still like Maxey, but obviously I like him more if Embiid was to miss. But considering Embiid is softer than baby shit, I don't think he plays. There we go. The core is posted in the Discord, ladies and gentlemen. And taking a look here, I'm liking what we're getting here. I told you guys I'm high on LeBron today. In this very first lineup, I get LeBron. I get Paul George, who I told you I was high on. Literally, the only player I feel like I'm missing here is Kyrie Irving, but we get Spencer Dinwiddie in his spot. I'm all right with this now, boys. I really like this. I'd be happy to run that first lineup. Let's run it with Plumlee now, because we're going to get a little different outcomes here, because Plumlee is much cheaper, $1,700 cheaper. And Tobias's ownership, I don't know who would play Tobias today, so I'm going to guess 2%. 3% for Tobias Harris. I don't know why, he just seems like he is not interested in basketball right now. Alright, so I was just talking about it. Look what we're getting with Plumlee. It's the same lineup we got with Gafford, except we got Kyrie Irving in it instead of Paul George. I'm okay with that. Let's run that. I am down for it. Wizards lineup's out, says elite. Thank you so much, buddy. Brogdon, Carrington, Colaby, Champagne, and Sarr, just who we expected, so that's perfect. Perfect. Is Sabonis chalk and MPJ? I don't like either one of those. I actually do not have Sabonis in my player pool because I'm not sure if he's going to play, and even if he does, I don't like him. But he's only 4% owned, and Michael Porter Jr. is currently pulling around 7% ownership. Another guy, just MME only for me. But I'm really liking the builds we're getting here, guys. Let's swap over to DK. We're going to blaze through DK, guys, because we had to wait so long on those projections in the lineup. But over here, it's going to be very similar, but Jamal Murray's looking fantastic over here. Brogdon, he's going to be a core piece for us over here, guys. He's just mispriced over here compared to FanDuel. I love some Brogdon. Jalen Brunson, another guy that's just too cheap over here. There is blowout risk in that game though. But much of the same players that I like on FanDuel, I like over here. Irving, Maxey, Cade, Brunson. Bunch of the same guys. At the 2 guard, pretty much the same as point guard. Not even going to go over it. You guys see the screen here. It's the exact same plays. Murray, I think looks great, but I think he was a little over projected there. Malik Beasley's looking solid over here. I think they had him a little over projected, but the dude's been on a heater lately. I see why he's projected like that. Don't care for Gary Trent though. Think that's a little over projection. For me, it'd be Kyrie, Kispert. Off the bench is still fine with Kispert, but he is a little scary. Brogdon, he's going to be the main guy though. Small forward, Michael Porter looks a lot better over here. Caleb Martin looks great. Collaby looks fantastic. Josh Hart looks just as good over here. Power forward, we got LeBron's looking amazing. Told you guys, I really like LeBron. I want LeBron today, so he's looking the best over here. And then Plumlee and Gafford, just the 2 best options at center. If you want to get a little different, play Joker. He looks great today too. The core for DK is going to be both centers, Plumlee and Gafford, since we can play both. Where does he go? Okay, there he is. I'm blind. Jalen Brunson's going to make the core for me. And then Malcolm Brogdon. Let's run that while I drop it in the Discord, and then I will get you Jamal's ownership. So Jalen Brunson, Malcolm Brogdon, Mason Plumlee, and Daniel Gafford. There we go. And I'm not in love with how the builds are going for DK. Okay, never mind. I love this first one here. I get Brunson, I get Hart, I get LeBron, I get Kyrie. Love that lineup. I'm going to be running that. I can already tell you, I'm going to be running that tonight, guys. And Jamal's ownership is 16%. So now's the part of the show that I will be doing my builds and paying attention to chat. And you guys have any questions, that's what I'm here for. Just ask away and I will help you the best I can. So let me know what your questions are and I'll see what I can do to help you, fellas. Now, you're going to have a lot of these Washington players, and you're going to have a lot of these Dallas players grading out very well. I am limiting my builds to a max of 3 players from a team tonight, guys. I don't want to be caught with 4 Wizards or 4 Mavericks in my builds. Brad Bill's ownership is 28%. Way higher than I thought it would be. I do like him from a pure projection standpoint, but I don't like him at that ownership. Holy cow, I did not think he would be that owned. Just give me Kyrie or Clay. I mean, they're 29 and 33%. If I'm eating ownership, give me the safer picks. Give me Kelly Oubre for much cheaper, 2% lower owned. Golly, I can't believe he's that owned. I'm mind blown right now. top 3 favorite spend ups on DK. So number one's gonna be Kyrie Irving. I mean, he's not as expensive as he should be in my opinion, but it's gonna be Kyrie, Tyrese Maxey, and LeBron James for DK. How I feel about Brunson, Maxey, Brogg, Hart, LeBron, Cleaver, Gafford, Plumlee. I like that, Don. I mean, I told you I'm not big into Cleaver today, but he's the perfect punt piece today, and he's a piece in that lineup that you sent that allowed you to get to Brunson and LeBron, and Hart and Maxey. Like I like that build. Yeah, I don't mind some Scoot today. Like he's not my favorite play in the world, but I don't mind him. Reeves? No, I didn't. I'm sorry, I just seen where you wrote that. He's 10%. Irvin over Brunson on DK. I love Clay tonight, Chubbs. Um, Let me look at it neck for neck, because I love them both, Don. Point guard. Brunson's projected for 44.92. Kyrie 44.02. So, just by projections, it's going to be Brunson, but I truly love them both. Bilal, I don't think he'll be that chalky. He's showing 2% right now. I would think it's around the 8 to 9% range, just off the top of my head, 8. But of the Wizard starters, I think he'll probably have the least amount of ownership. Excuse me. I mean, I feel like Brunson's going to take over in this game. So, 8, my projections loved Malik Monk. I had to manually reduce him, and he's still grading out pretty well. But dude hasn't hit value since December 16th. I don't really care for Malik Monk. He's played the Lakers twice recently, December 19th and December 21st, and only put up 25 fantasy points in both games. So, not really one of my favorite plays, even though my projections do love him. Brunson, Dinwiddie, Bog, Paul George, OBJ, Champagne, Bobby Tracy. I think that's great, Chubbs. Yeah, I mean, I do prefer Maxey, but I think Brunson's a perfect pivot, Chubbs. So I like that quite a bit. Don't mind that at all. Don't mind that at all. Beasley's ownership on FanDuel. I looked it up earlier, but I can't remember off the top of my head, so let's look. It is 5%. I really like Champagne tonight, and based on LineStar's projections, he's pulling no ownership. Who was it last night we scored that had no ownership that's going crazy? Peyton Pritchard. I hope he can be our Peyton Pritchard tonight, gents. Precious. So, I don't really care for Precious. Give me just a second and I'll look. I'm uploading my lineups to FanDuel right now. One second, buddy. Alright, let's see here. Precious Achua. I mean, he's fine. If this game does blow out, then Precious is gonna look great. But I just can't predict a blowout. And yes, I love Champagne even over on DK. Of course, Chubbs. That's why I'm here, guys. I want to see you guys taken down. Last night when I seen those guys posting their wins in the chat, I was so happy. I want to see that again tonight, boys. I want to see you guys taken down. Let's just hope, what's his name from the Bulls? Javion Carter. Let's just hope he doesn't come out like he did last night. Holy shit, that guy went insane. I swear the DK app is so dog shit. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, and if you're new here, please join our Discord. It is linked in the chat and below the video, in the description, and in there you can at me at any time. Any questions after the slate starts, I'm always available. You like the DK app? My issue is every time I tab out of it, I gotta completely restart the app over again to do anything. And I have an iPhone 15 Pro Max, so like, why am I having to do that? Maxi plus Clay or Brogdon plus Brunson? Depends on the site. I will say I prefer Maxi and Clay on FanDuel, but on DK I prefer the Brunson Brogdon side. Guys, I feel like I'm getting sick. You guys don't know how hard I've tried to not show that on stream. On FanDuel, yeah, on FanDuel, I much prefer the Maxi Clay side. Oh, dude, everyone I know is sick, and I'm scared that I've got it. We got 7 minutes to lock, gentlemen. If you got questions, please, please, please get them in. I don't want you guys to be left hanging. We did get news that Dre is going to be a true game time decision. I have no interest in him whether he plays or not. The Knicks are released their starting lineup. It's who they always run: Brunson, Bridges, and Obi, Hart, Towns. Those guys are going to play 38 minutes, probably regardless of blowout. Why are you feeling bad, Don? Theraflu? I don't think I've ever used Theraflu. I'm a big, like, I hate taking medicine, dude. I hate it. Bilal or Monk? Bilal for me, for sure, without a doubt. Oh, ownership-wise? Bilal is 3% and Monk is 9%, but I think that Bilal ownership's a little low. I think he's going to come in around 8 or 9%. I prefer Bilal to Monk. I know what's going to happen today, though. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my bones. Don is going to hit big today, ladies and gentlemen. I feel it. Don is going to hit, and he is going to join the premium side of the Discord. Any of you guys that don't know, if you for some reason can't catch the show, we have a tab in the Discord that says get access to paid plays. You join, it's $10. I post my cores in there every single day. Every single day. Opinion on Dame, he scares the shit out of me, Adrian. I am not playing Dame in any of my single entries. His upside's huge, but I personally hate playing guys coming off injury, especially an illness in a game like basketball where it can affect your respiratory system. So I am playing him in my 150 max entries, but I have none of them in single entry, brother. Brogdon, Sexton, Hart, LeBron, Gafford, Lillard, Grimes, Plumlee. I mean, he did just ask about Dame, so you know how I feel about him. But I mean, I think it's a solid lineup. If you believe in Lillard more than I do, then I think that's a very solid lineup. But I will say, I'm trying to scroll back up in the chat. I can't remember if it was you or somebody else that posted a lineup. I don't think, it might not have been you, Elite. There was a lineup posted that I liked a little more than that. No shade, though. I don't think Dame's going to be low owned at all. I don't think he is. He is 24% owned right now on FanDuel, according to LineStar. KD or Portis? Portis for me. Portis for me. I love some Bobby P today. Just based on straight projections from LineStar, they got KD with a couple more fantasy points. I think Bobby Portis could absolutely outscore KD, and he's so much cheaper. He just opens up so much more with your build. Good luck, Conflict. I hope you have a wonderful night, buddy. But going back to what I was saying, $10 a month, you get a core every single day. You For NBA, you get an NFL core every day. During baseball season, you get a baseball core every day. NASCAR season, you get a NASCAR core for every race. If you can't make the show, it's the perfect alternative where you get the core plays for only $10. Now, just saying, if you get in now, there's some talk about the price rising after the new year. We're going to lock in everyone's price. So if you are an original member that gets it for $10 a month, you're going to get that forever for $10 a month to the end of time. But if the price goes up in the future and you subscribe after, you're not going to be eligible for that. So get in and let's win some money. Woo! Jordan Flu Game Show. Kyrie over Dame, absolutely for me, elite. Without a doubt for me, elite. But like I said, all those things I said about Dame, that's just how I feel. I'm scared rostering him today. If he beats me, I'll own up to it and I'll say, hey, you know, I should have rostered him. Which I did in my 150 max, but not in single entry. I'm just too scared of a guy coming back from a sickness. And Kyrie's going to have to shoulder that entire team tonight. 2 minutes to lock, gents. If you got questions, please get them in. Oh, interesting. My Memphis Grizzlies that I love are discussing a trade involving John Conchar and Luke Kennard for Dorian Finney-Smith. I mean, I guess DFS is better than both of those guys, but I don't see the need in doing that kind of trade. Interesting. Very, very interesting. 1 minute to lock. Now my nose is running, bro. I know I'm sick now. Alright, guys. We are locked. I appreciate each and every one of you so much. Show will be live again tomorrow, so subscribe and tune in tomorrow if you're interested. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I can't say thank you enough. You guys are amazing. If you have any questions, at me in the Discord, and that's